guys, welcome back to part 2 of my folio mini album tutorial for country craft creations. And so last time we worked on the whole binding and pages, and I added my magnets. So now let's decorate our album. So I'm gonna start with the cover this time, and I kind of went and looked to all the beautiful sheets from this collection, and I'm kind of leaning either towards this beautiful vintage page or this one here. So I think I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards that, and then I want to select an image for the cover, and I'm not really sure yet what I'm doing. I think I like the bunny, but also I like these little girls here, so I'm gonna think about it for a little bit. And then for my spine, to cover my spine here, I like using fabric. I'm very into fabric right now. So I have this piece that I bought. I kind of buy those packages that have like a little bit of scrap pieces that are all different. You know, it's kind of like a mixed pack. So I think I'm going to go for this one. I really like the little flowers. It's very soft, and I think it's very shabby. And so I'm gonna cut here. I'm going to use these ones, and I'm kind of going to cut, I think, where the line of the fold, it's gonna be enough. And yeah, so your spine, it's 1.5 inches, so you might want to cut a good 4 inches of fabric. Now if you don't have fabric, you can definitely just use a piece of you know, a paper from the collection that you like. So we gotta cut enough to cover everything, which is 9 inches. So I'm gonna go right there and then fold these and go this way now. Just like so. So a little piece of fabric, and I'm gonna put that on the side. So I want this to wrap around here, and I like how you can see a little bit of the flowers on your spine as well. And then of course we're gonna go back and trim the excess on the top. Maybe, you know what, maybe I'll just trim it a little bit here. Okay, and it's not really even, but we'll go back and trim it after if you need to. So that's gonna go right here. I'm not gonna glue that just yet because I want to I'm gonna cut my paper. So my cover measures 9 by 6, so I'm going to cut just about 1/8 of an inch smaller than that, which is going to be, I always have trouble with 1/8 of an inch. So instead of going from the 8, I'm gonna go from the 9 and just 1/8 before. Okay, so I'm gonna put that right there. And then since this measures 12, I'm just gonna cut this right at 6. Okay, and then I'm going to place this right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue that. I'm going to ink that first. So let me get this little brush. Alright, so I'm going to start inking all around here. Just like that. Okay, so placing that one down. Make sure it's center, up and down, and here we go. So we're gonna go do that one first. Now I was thinking of my closure, and so I wanted to use this beautiful piece from Prima, and you can find these also at Country Craft Creations. This one is one of those latches, and it comes with the, what do you call this, brads. Yes, and I don't know, I really like it. So I think I'm going to be adding one here, and then on the back I'm going to make a belt, you know, to have this other piece. So we'll see. We'll see. That's the plan. So I'm going to start by placing that one there. Now if you don't have that one, you want to if you want to use kind of like a lace closure with some seam binding or lace, then you will put that before you glue this paper actually. So I'm just gonna pencil mark where I want my little holes, and then I'm going to go with my little punch here and do the holes. Now of course you want to do these before, oh my goodness, this is too far. Okay, maybe I can bring it closer. You want to do this before you add the paper on the back. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this and make those 2 holes, and then I'm gonna make sure these are good, and they are, and then I'm just going to glue this piece. I'm gonna use my fabric tack for that. Okay, so let's put a generous amount of that and place it right where my holes are. Okay, right there. And then we go back with the little brats and make it secure. Okay, so one, let me start with one. I'm gonna turn this around and close it like that, and then we do the other one. Oops. Let's see here. Somebody left me a comment saying, or actually a couple people, that you would like to see every little step I do. So this is it. I know it's very time consuming and probably boring to watch, but you know, I just want to show you how I do it. And then here I'm gonna add some just double-sided tape to make it extra secure. So now my closure on this side is ready. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the back and add a little belt. So I'm using some leftover here from my folders, and I'm just gonna cut a piece, and maybe I'm gonna cut this at like 1.5 inch to do my belt, just like that. And I am going to cover it with well, actually this paper will go there, so I don't want to use that one. I'm going to cover it with some of these other scrap pieces that I have. So let's see, so this piece I cut it at 4.25, so I'm going to cut these at 4, let's see, by 1.25. Okay, so I'm just going to cover these up, and I'm going to ink this one, and just a bit, and then I'm going to ink this as well. Actually this edge is not even, so I'm going to trim it just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's something weird about that one. So let's just... Okay, so now that we have that, I'm just gonna glue these on top here. Well, before I glue it, I want to add these, right? So let's see how we're gonna do this. Let me go back here and add that there. So that's gonna go there. So I'm gonna glue these piece right at the edge of the pattern paper there. Okay, so let me see. So we're gonna glue this right on one of the edges here and center. Okay, just like that. Actually, I'm a little bit offset from it. And then I'm going to make my holes. Actually, I should mark these first. See, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I should make the holes first and then add the glue. So 1 and 2. Okay. Now before my glue dries, I'm going to put it right back in there again. Okay. It's too early in the morning. Okay, so I'm gonna place these ones just the same way I did the other side. I'll fold them in. Same thing here. Fold this in. Okay. Alright, and because this is moving around, I'm going to add my double-sided tape there and just keep this too long. Keep this from spinning around. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure this goes in, no problem, and then I'm going to add the other piece here. So I'm just going to actually glue this side. Oh, remove the tape. Okay, and I'm going to glue this whole thing into here. Okay, so now this time you want to make sure you are flush against your closure. Alright, so now if you're not doing this closure, you can skip right through after I add this. Okay, so now I have this piece and I'm kind of bending my cardstock so it's not too stiff after I put it. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry for a second. Okay, so now I'm gonna place it, and I think this is dry, so I'm gonna place it here. It's gonna be loose right now because our album is so empty, but you definitely wanna just loop it around and kind of see what it matches, and give it some space. You don't want to put it super tight. And then I'm gonna go back here and add some glue and kind of place it right there. I want mine to be kind of loose because I do want to put embellishments and allow for my binder to expand. For example, you might want to stand it up and take advantage of the whole spine here, and kind of that's where you want to just hold it up there and let it dry for a minute. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna, in the meantime, I'm going to ink my page that we're gonna add for the back cover. I'm just going to add my back cover here. So I have glue, I have glued everything, and ink, and now I'm just gonna place it. Now the inking is of course optional. I'm doing it because I'm going for a very vintage look, and yeah, you definitely don't have to do all that inking. So now we have the cover, basic cover, and now I can go and add my fabric. So here is my pretty fabric. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add my fabric tack on this side right here. Probably I'm using about an inch of glue surface, and I'm gonna place that there. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn this around and do the same here. I'm not gonna put any glue on the spine itself, And so I'm just gonna add about an inch of glue surface in here as well. Okay, so go around and just place it just like that. Okay. And now we can go back, and if you have anything that needs to be trimmed, you can trim it in here or here. Mine actually turned out pretty good. I don't need to trim it. So now we have that and a pretty spine. And for this part here, I'm going to use some lace. So I have this one in my stash, and I'm just going to cut a piece like that. And because this is, it's very pretty, but it's very shiny, so I'm not going for that shiny look. I'm going for a little bit more vintage. So I'm gonna just grab one of my scraps, and I'm going to go with my distress ink and kind of give it a little bit of more vintage color. So just like that. Maybe I should empty out my desk a little bit. Okay, so just gonna go, and I don't want to do it super even. I actually want to be more like, you know, some parts a little bit darker, and you know, maybe a little bit darker on the edge itself. I don't know if you can see on the camera the actual colors, but yeah, so that's what I'm going for. And okay, so I think that's enough, and I'm going to just add that right there, right on where these two join. So I'm gonna add some glue, fabric tack glue, and just place this. Okay, so just like that, and I'm gonna do the same for the other, for the back side as well. So I went ahead and cut the little 4x3 cards here from this sheet, and so I did that because I'm not really sure what I'm using for my front. So don't be afraid of cutting into your paper. I mean, sometimes I need to cut it and see it before, you know, making a decision. And a lot of you tell me, oh, I'm always afraid of cutting my paper and messing it up. You won't mess it up, okay? Just play with it. Believe me, after you create something, you will love it more than as it is on, you know, the original form. I know they're beautiful, and sometimes we are afraid of cutting into our papers. I know I am. At least at the beginning I was. But then I learned, you know, they look so much better after you do something with them. And believe me, you will love it at the end. So I like this one. See, I didn't think I would like this one on the cover, but it just matches really good with the paper. I was kind of wanting to use that image because she's so, it's very vintage looking, but I think this little girl is so sweet. Now this one's also really cute, but I feel like this kind of gets washed with the background, where this one complements the background. So I'm gonna go for that one, and I'm gonna stop thinking about it. And I want to distress around. Now I don't have a distress tool, so all I do is just grab my scissors and kind of go like that and just break it up a little bit and make sure like it kind of rolls up. And see how it breaks? I like that. I like those very broken edges. So I'm just gonna go back like that. And now after I have that, I'm going to distress the color to make it look very, very vintage. So I'm gonna do that. And that. So I know I want this girl here, and before I add that, I do want to layer another piece behind. So I have here, let me see, I want something soft. This one's cute. Let's see, maybe this one. Yeah, maybe I'll use that one. That one's super cute. Okay, so I'm gonna use these. Just cut a little piece just to kind of layer a little bit. So let me bring back my paper cutter. Now these cards measure 4 by 3. Yeah, so these are 4 by 3 cards. And so I'm going to cut this piece. Yeah, I'm gonna start like that. And I apologize, I have so many things on my table right now. So I'm gonna cut this at 4.5, just like so. And then I kind of wanna use this musical page, the music page. So I'm gonna cut this right there, and then make sure I have enough room. So I'll probably just place that right here. And this is what, 4 3/4. Okay. So I have a piece like this and like that. Maybe I'll trim this a little bit more. Okay, so 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's what this piece measures. And I'm gonna do the same. Distress the edge here. I need to get me one of those distress tools. That's gotta be on my wish list. I'm gonna put that one there. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and distress the color now. And just go like that. And then here, I'm going to, oh, this opened up, that's okay. And then I'm going to place that one there, this one here. I'm actually gonna close it because it kind of bothers me. So I like how this looks like that. So when I like something, I glue it in place, because otherwise I move it 1,000 times. And yeah, that way I'm kind of committing to how it looks. So I'm gonna put it at an angle a little bit, just like that. I don't know if you can tell, just a little bit, kind of like it was just placed like that. And then I'm gonna place this one also at an angle. Okay. So like that. Maybe I'll put it straight. Okay, I'll put it straight so the girl's still at an angle. So I'll place that right there. Okay, see, now we're committed to it and we can move it. I also have this pretty trim here, and I really like how this will look on the top. So I'm gonna add this one there. And see, maybe I'll trim this side a little more too, just like that. And of course I'm going to kind of fade the color a little bit, just like I did with the other one, because it's this very pretty white color, but it's too bright for what I'm trying to go for. Just gonna do that. And again, I'm trying to make this very uneven, so more on the tips. And yeah, okay, so then I go back with my fabric tack. And just place this, where'd it go? Here. Just like that. How cute. Okay, and then for the button here, I feel like I need something. So how about some flowers? Okay. Flowers, I love flowers. They make everything just beautiful. So these are white flowers. And again, I'm probably going to distress these flowers and make them look super vintage. So let me just place them and see if let's see here. How do I like this? Maybe I will put them in the bottom here. Okay, so I'll do that. And I'm going to again make my flowers look a little bit more antique. Just a little bit of color. These are beautiful, beautiful flowers. I just need to make them a little bit old looking. Okay. Not that looking, just old. Okay, so I will put this one in here. Just like that. Yes. And I'm gonna add these pearls in there too. Okay. So, got this right there. And before I add my flowers, I'm going to just put my pearls. And now I'm ready to add my flowers. So I'm gonna start with this one. Right there. This pretty one up here. And this last one. Okay, and then I'm also going to use these little pink flowers that I had in my stash. And, oops. So I think these ones are very cute, very delicate. And then I'm using, every time I do a project, I always, go see all the laces I have and you see if they look cute on it. So I think I'm gonna add a little bit of lace here. Like I said, I want my album to be very vintage looking. So I'm going to use again my distress ink and just give it a little bit of color. Okay, and then I'm using again my Fabri-Tac glue and just adding it here. Right on the side. Okay, so I'm just adding this right there. I'm actually gonna go more on top of this right here. And then I'm going to add these cute little flowers. I'm gonna just put a lot of glue here because I want to make a little cluster on this side. So let me just cut them up a little bit and place them. Put one right there. Okay, so that one there, and then this other one up here. Okay, so I'm just making a little cluster right there using the pink flowers just to give it a little bit of color, more pink color. So yeah, so then I'm gonna let that dry, and then I have another piece here that I cut that measures 9. It's actually 1/8 before the 9 and 1/8 before the 6, and I'm gonna place this one inside here. So make sure these are dry. Okay, and I'm gonna peel off the tape there. And then I'm just going to add this piece, and I also ink these off camera. So as you can see, I distressed everything on this album. Okay, so and then I'm gonna just place that right here, and I'm gonna use another piece of lace, and this one, it's a little bit pink. You probably see it white, but it's a very soft pink, and I'm gonna put it in the inside here. But my idea is so you can see it from the outside and embellish your front cover as well. So I'm just going to trim this right here. And now this one, I believe I got this in my trip to Peru. You know, when I go to Peru, I like to take advantage and buy. They have beautiful laces like that, and you know, they're definitely cheaper, so I take advantage of that. Okay, so I'm gonna place that right there, and I'm gonna let this dry before I close it. But my idea is that you can see it on the front cover as well. Do you see that? And then we will close this. But again, I don't want to close it yet because it's wet. But I'm holding it with my finger. But that's how our front cover will look. And so I'm going to stop here, and we're going to continue on the next part 3, and we're going to finish decorating our pages. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.